So if you're watching this, you're most likely pumped about seeing Deadpool when it comes out, or maybe you've already watched it and want to find out a bit more about him. Now, from the trailers, Deadpool isn't portrayed to be a particularly deep character, but there is more to him than meets the eye. Wait, no, that's Transformers. Shit. Anyway, join us as we look at 10 things you should know about SkullpoopL, Deadpool. Number 10. He is invincible. Two things make Deadpool either near invincible or completely invincible. Firstly, as a result of the Weapon X program, Deadpool has a regenerative healing power so incredible that it has allowed him to survive completely impossible situations. Such scenarios include surviving a nuclear bomb, surviving being decapitated, and surviving being completely dismembered by Hulk. But through all this, Deadpool has come out alive. However, this is not what makes him invincible. Now, this is going to get a bit complicated, so bear with me. Thanos, the ultimate supervillain who hasn't actually done anything in the movies apart from looking smug and putting on a glove, is in love with Death. That's right, Death itself. However, Death is, or was, infatuated with Deadpool. This made Thanos rather jealous, so he cursed Deadpool with eternal life so that Death and Deadpool may never be together. As weird as this all sounds, it would suggest Deadpool is in fact invincible. Number 9. He's pansexual. In case you haven't heard of that term before, pansexual means that Deadpool does not care if you are male or female, or even if you don't have a gender at all, or even if you're human. In the comic books, Deadpool is seen having relationships with aliens and shapeshifters and even the physical representation of death itself. It's refreshing to see a superhero who doesn't conform to the same rules as most others, and also shows us a softer side of Deadpool we usually would not see. Number 8. He's inspired by SpiderMan. The red suit Deadpool wears is there not just so bad guys won't see him bleed, but also because he was inspired by Spider-Man. His creators were originally inspired by Spidey's costume, and that translated onto Deadpool himself, with enough modification to distinguish the two. Later, the inspiration was moved into the comics, and Deadpool became a fan of Spider-Man, going as far as to try and win him over as a friend. Number 7. He named himself. Wade Wilson, the terminally ill cancer patient, joined the Weapon X program, which gave him his powers. While on a mission, he kills some of his teammates, a cyborg named Slayback. This results in Wilson being kicked from the program and put in a hospice where rejected superheroes get treated. The doctor at this hospice, Killbrew, and his assistant Ajax used the patients as test subjects, placing bets into a dead pool to see who would survive the longest. After being fed up with Wilson's taunting, Ajax lobotomizes one of Wilson's friends. Wilson then kills his friend to end his suffering, breaking one of Killbrew's rules. As punishment for this crime, Ajax tears out Wilson's heart and leaves him to die. However, Wilson's desire for revenge was so strong that his healing powers kicked in, restarted his heart, and he then attacks and leaves Ajax for dead. After this, Wade Wilson gave himself the name Deadpool and escaped the hospice. Number 6. He was once a villain. At this point, it's safe to say that Deadpool is a full-fledged hero, or at least an anti-hero. Believe it or not, this was not always the case. When he was originally introduced, Deadpool could very closely be compared to Deathstroke, a villain. They looked similar, had similar powers, and Deadpool started out threatening teenagers with his swords. Number 5. He's self-aware. Those who read the comics will be aware that Deadpool breaks the fourth wall on a number of occasions and talks directly to the readers. This leaves the other characters confused as to what's going on. But with this self-awareness, he's also aware of the fact that he doesn't actually exist, which causes great emotional suffering for him. In Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Wade is depressed by the knowledge that he's nothing more than entertainment for all of us. Number 4. He's killed the entire Marvel Universe. Deadpool is very powerful, there's no questions there. With an arsenal of swords, grenades, handguns, rocket launchers, and even a sheep cannon, you'd expect Wade to be able to hold his own against quite a few other heroes, but not as well as he actually did. In the series Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Wade becomes completely unhinged after an experiment gone wrong. He proceeds to systematically assassinate all of the Marvel heroes, villains, and teams. He blew up the Avengers using PIM particles, he destroyed the Fantastic Four with only his swords and martial arts skills, he blew off Spider-Man's head with a clean shot from his trusty guns. As for the Hulk, a decapitated Deadpool self-healed, snuck up on a sleeping Bruce Banner and ripped him apart the second he woke up. Number 3. We don't know much about Wade Wilson. Most readers know that Deadpool was diagnosed with cancer and subjected to the same Weapon X program as Wolverine was subjected to, which gave him his heightened senses, skills, and regenerative abilities. However, his cancerous cells also developed this healing factor, meaning he took on a hideous appearance, which is why he wears a mask. This also made him become slightly unstable as a character. Everything else about his past remains a mystery. Number 2. He's not very popular. While Deadpool may have just been trying to make new friends all along, his insatiable thirst for combat has not been well tolerated in the Marvel Universe. He once hit Kitty Pryde with an uppercut just to get Wolverine to fight him. In general, he's been often rejected by the X-Men. He does have a few friends though, most notably Cable. The son of Cyclops and Jean Grey's clone turned into a perfect companion for Deadpool. Their series ran from 2004 to 2008, with all of the issues becoming classics. Number 1. He can teleport. Not only does Deadpool have second to none martial arts skills and regenerative skills derived from Wolverine, he is also able to jump from place to place with his belt that contains a teleportation device. He uses it in a number of scenarios to get out of sticky situations, as well as allowing him to confuse and outsmart his opponents during combat. The belt can also project holographic images in front of him so that he can use it as a disguise.